Hey everyone, it's me, the Goat Billy. Today is day 5 of a backpacking adventure that takes us up to Cape Scott Lighthouse. It's the most northwestern point on Vancouver Island. It's a bit of a send to get there, but well worth the trip. Join me on an astonishing adventure.
Bit of an overcasty day, but it looks alright. That tide got pretty close to my tent last night. Oh well, didn't get me. Still here. Tea-colored water, my favorite. Alright, so I gave that rust water about 5 minutes of a rolling boil, so it should be good to drink now. You might be thinking, hey, what is he doing? Pouring the water into the small pot and then pouring it back into the big pot. Well, for one, this pot, small pot, it's too small to cook my golden soup. I tried in the past, but it cooks about 3/4 of it, and then the top doesn't get cooked very well, and that's even when I stir it every couple of minutes. So I need something with a wider base, so that's why I stuck with the bigger pot. But the main reason why I do that is because there's a bunch of sediment in that tannin water, and it all just kind of hangs out at the bottom. So if I pour the top little layer of water in there, it's free of sediment, or mostly free of sediment, and then I just throw the rest away. And then I just put it back into that pot, and I'm able to cook it without all the little nasties. Let's see if the lovely golden soup is completed. Oh yes, that looks very done. I decided to move my tent closer to the cook shelter. The tide did get quite close to my tent last night. I even set an alarm 30 minutes before high tide to make sure I wouldn't get swept out to sea. It was close, and tonight I want my peace of mind back. Nice thing about all this ultralight gear is I'm able to unpeg it from the ground and lift it with all the contents in it with ease. Today's adventure begins at Bight. We stroll through the forest for about 2 kilometers before we reach the beach. Experiment Bight is the name of this one. It's a small bight with astonishing views. We hike along there for half a kilometer before we make our way back into the forest. The next destination is Guise Bay. It's a great place to camp earlier in the season since the water source is seasonal. I would recommend camping here if the timing is right, as you are liberated from Bight tannin water. We continue on in the forest for another 2 kilometers. It's a gradual uphill, which is pretty easy, especially if you just did the North Coast Trail. Welcome to the Cape Scott Lighthouse, one of the few manned lighthouses in Canada. It's also the most northwestern point on Vancouver Island. We retrace our steps until we make it to Guise Bay. We have a couple options at this point. Go back the same way you came, or go for a little detour along Experiment Bight. I chose the latter, and you should too if the tides are in your favor. You will get to make your own adventure for the journey back, and more than likely won't run into a soul until you reconnect with the main trail. Be warned, you might have to bushwhack a bit to escape the Bight. Once you reconnect with the main trail, it's an easy, breezy 2.5 kilometers back to camp. Overall, it's going to be a moderate 13K hike with about 400 meters of elevation. If you don't want to do the North Coast Trail grind, it is possible to get here from a different way. Starting at the Cape Scott parking lot, you will be hiking through the forest the whole time to reach the lighthouse. Eric Lake is the first destination and is only a couple of kilometers from the lot. You'll be parallel to St. Mary's Creek most of the way until you reach Fisherman's Creek. Plenty of water for a big hike today. You are able to camp at Fisherman's Creek, which is about a 10-kilometer hike from the parking lot. This would be ideal if you want to evenly split up your time on the trail. However, I recommend making it to the ocean as it is much more beautiful. The rest of the journey to Nels Bight is quite easy. Up, down, here and there, nothing crazy like the North Coast Trail and rope climbs. Keep in mind that this is 24 kilometers from the parking lot to the lighthouse, so it is indeed a big send. Your best bet is to bring some backpacking gear and spend the night or two at Fisherman's Creek, Nels Bight, or Guise Bay. If not, you're looking at a 48-kilometer day. Camping at Nels Bight for 2 days and then doing a decent hike in the midst of a backpacking journey is a rarity. If you've been following my itinerary for the past few videos, I can't recommend doing it this way enough. Not too long after we hang out with the Ents, we become one with a test at Experiment Bight. Right now, it's a stroll along the beach, but later, oh yes, later, we will be in for an experiment, all right. Bear prints. So you got the paw here with these little toes, and you got a couple little dimples there. Claw marks. This is the food locker and the outhouse at Guise Bay. If we keep going down this path here, it should take us to a water source. Now, originally I was going to camp here for the night, but I was doing some reading before I left. It said that this water source tends to dry up in the middle of summer, so I just want to go see if it is dry or not, just so I know. But I didn't want to take that chance getting all the way here and then having to go all the way back to Nels Bight. So let's see what it's all about. At the southwestern end of this beach here, there's supposed to be a little creek flowing right about here. It's marked with a little hazard triangle there. And here it is. It is pretty dry though. Doesn't seem like there's water flowing, or much water flowing. Oh, I see a little trickle actually. Go check it out. Into the jungle. I mean, there is a little pool here, so it is possible that it could have worked out, but I didn't want to take that chance. Little sets of paw prints. Definitely not big enough to be a wolf. It's probably a minx or something. Some sort of ungulate. Could be an elk, could be a deer. After our little detour to Guise Bay, we make our way to the lighthouse. This whole journey so far has been easy going. I may have my backpack on, but what you didn't see is that I gutted everything in there except some clothing and food. No sense bringing a fully loaded pack for a day hike. Just before the lighthouse, got a bunch of little buttercup flowers. I have made it to the lighthouse. Right behind me
we have a helipad. So that's how they get resupplied. Apparently about once a month or so, chopper comes on down from the sky and gives them a bunch of goods. I was talking to the lighthouse keeper today. His name is Todd. Apparently today might be the day that they get resupplied, so I'm gonna stick around for a bit and see if that legend is true. I have made it to the top of the lighthouse. It's probably the smallest lighthouse I've ever been on, but it's still a lighthouse nonetheless. The view from up here is pretty good. Way over there, you got Lance and Cox Islands. And then just behind those islands, ones that we can't see, there's one called Triangle Island. Really like to check that out someday. There's so many little cool islands off the coast of BC here. Ones that people have never even seen, never even heard of. So maybe that's one of my new goals in life, to go check them out. So that's the big light inside of there. Unfortunately, not able to climb to the very top of it, but that's okay. View from up here is pretty spectacular. By the fire pump house, little sign over here saying fresh filtered water around the corner. So that's really nice after drinking tannin water for the past day.
It'll be our little secret.
Maybe I went down there. Maybe I didn't. Wouldn't be wise to show the world what the completely unsecured, restricted area was all about. Sorry, guys. Anyways, you see this weird plank staircase? It used to be a wooden road in World War II. This lighthouse used to be stationed with troops and supplies. On the way back, I decided to make my own adventure along Experiment Bight. A backpacker told me I was able to reconnect with the path as long as the tides were low and I wasn't afraid of a bit of climbing. What the heck? Why not? Let's give it a go and see what's in this area. With each step, this side quest gets more interesting. If you ever come out this way and you're up for some exploration, give it a go. You won't be disappointed. It's astonishing to think that there are tide pools in the little cliff sides. I suppose enough water splashes into the crevices from time to time, which can create its own little micro ecosystem.
Found some more bear footprints. Big paw, little toe beans, and little claw dimples. What a beautiful place to be a bear. I've got myself deep into the thicket. I'm no longer Billy the goat. I'm Billy the bear. Oh, I think I'm out of the worst of it. Oh, some of that was stressful to get up. This is better. Whew. Out of the thicket now. It was a pretty relaxed day. It was more of a day hike today, more than a backpacking trip, but after doing about 80 kilometers in the past 4 days, boy, it sure felt nice just to kind of take it easy today. Climbing up to the top of the lighthouse was definitely the highlight of today. It was just kind of fun to see everything from so high up. The park rangers made it up there too, and we were chatting up the lighthouse operator pretty good, and it was a good day. On the way back, I did experiment Bight, and that was definitely, well, I guess an experiment. Really nice secluded beach. Got lost in amongst the thicket. I think I was on a bear trail, so yeah, I kind of wanted to get out there as fast as I could. And then I came back and walked all of Nell's Bight, all the way to the very end, and then came back here. And that took me about an hour or so, and I did it in my bare feet. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty bagged. It was another full day. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it for tonight. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all have a great night, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Look at that little micro banana slug. It's so small it can just chill on the little dainty leaves.